My name is Joe. These are just opinions. Welcome again to the 25 best albums. This time around, 25 best albums from 2024. These are the 25 best albums I listened to this year. As far as new listens go, I'm way lower than a lot of those YouTubers out there. I only listened to somewhere between 70 and 80 records this year, new albums. Credit goes out to those guys that Taste Like Music, listening to 400 albums in a year. Gave me a lot of great ideas this year, bands to listen to. Also want to mention that there's a whole bunch of albums tied at 4 stars on my list. Every album I have on this list is 4-star or higher. Starting off, number 25, we're going with Jordan Venn and the Sliznies. The album is Magic Words. Jordan Venn out of Toronto, Canada. Jordan Venn and the Sliznies. This album is a tribute to the sound and the feel of 1994. In Jordan Venn's words, the greatest summer in music history, rock history, rock trio. You get a lot of Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots vibes from these songs. Check out the video for Influent on Jordan Venn and the Sliznies channel, YouTube channel. Also, another favorite on the album for me is Surf Confessions, just an honest take on sucking at surfing. Number 24 on the 25 best albums from 2024 comes from Worn Tin. The album is Lurleen. Slacker rock, folk rock, atmospheric soundscapes, pretty, driving. The album kind of grows on you. Did for me anyways. The end of the album is where it peaks for me anyways, with Lurleen, the title track, followed by Joe and Ruth, also one of my favorite tracks. And both in the Songs of the Year playlist attached to this video are on my channel and Joepinionated at my friend Joe on YouTube. Number 23, going with the country artist Benjamin Todd. The album is Shooting Star. Benjamin Todd's been around for about 10 years now. This is his 4th studio album. Alt country, Americana. I think a lot of stuff really that Sturgill Simpson got going. Almost a revitalization of outlaw country. Throwbacks to different genres throughout country music history. A lot of 60s and 70s soundscapes, or even some that's kind of pulled back more in the Terry Allen Avenue. Shooting Star. Favorite track on that album is actually One Last Time, the closer, and I Ain't the Man, the opener. At number 22, with his 8th studio album, Chromacopia, it's Tyler, the Creator. Tyler, the Creator is basically rap producer, king of the hill currently. Different rhythms, whether it be neo-soul or hip-hop, jazz, funk. Number 22, Tyler, the Creator. Number 21, there's another one of these blends, these genre blends, and there's a lot of them this year, and that's kind of the vibe out there. New music is just little aisle A, little aisle B, which I love. A mix of slacker rock and alt country and folk rock, Americana. It's getting all kinds of hype. I believe it's his 7th record. Maybe I already said that. MJ Lenderman. The album is Manning Fireworks. It was because of all the hype everywhere this year over this album. Man, I thought it was a great album, so I got it. Once I listened to it, very cool. She's Leaving You, You Don't Know the Shape I'm In, Bark at the Moon, cool tracks. MJ Lenderman. Okay, number 20, Late Push. I have 4 stars. It's Adrienne Lenker's Bright Future. Very simple, nothing complicated. Reminds me a lot of some of the Neil Young vibes I get on some of those quieter albums. These melodies that draw you in. Another album that's getting a lot of praise out there, Bright Future from Adrienne Lenker. And number 19, another guy that's been around for about 10 years, Sam Evian. This time the album's Plunge. I think it's about like his 5th album, I want to say. Indie pop, indie rock, progressive rock. Another album that didn't make my list was Field Music's new album, which is cool. I did give it a listen late here in December anyways, where they just kind of explore these cool sounds over and over again. I find with field music, it's really cool, but it's almost too detached sometimes, each sound or each track. Sam Evian is kind of like smooth, progressive pop tunes. Number 19, Sam Evian's Plunge. Number 18, another new debut album from a band called The Last Dinner Party. The album is Prelude to Ecstasy. It's glam rock, pop, baroque pop, lush arrangements, theatrical storytelling, cool album. Reminds me a bit of, some of the choruses remind me a bit of the Cranberries, a Bangles kind of vibe on some of the tracks. Checked out some of their live stuff, very, very tight, great show. Last Dinner Party, this won't be the last we'll hear from them. Caesar on a TV Screen is a great song from that album. The Feminine Urge, Sinner, Nothing Matters. I think Center is my favorite, but those are all in my playlist below for the 2024 greatest songs. So don't worry about writing this down, saving it. It's all in the playlist below. And I do suggest YouTube Premium. I like it better than any other streaming service. No commercials. Getting a lot of these. Also with his fourth album, been around for about 10 years. Number 17, we're going Eric Slick. The album is New Age Rage. Title track will really tell you everything you need to know about Eric Slick. Anxious to Please, another great track. Lose Our Minds, New Age Rage, Eric Slick. Check it out. Computer rock. It's incredible. It's great. Check it out. Check out New Age Rage. The video is fantastic. He's known for his work with Black Midi. As far as I know, it's a debut Jordy Greep, The New Sound. This one has sort of this like jazz rock, almost like a little touch of Steely Dan kind of sound to some of the tracks, progressive rock, indie, electronic. He explores the avant-garde, abstract lyrics, unconventional song structure. New Sound is the new sound. This is getting the hype. Might win a bunch of Grammys. We'll see. Next up, it's their seventh album, I believe, seventh or eighth album from this power duo. Been around about 10 years. The Lemon Twigs. This year, it's A Dream Is All We Know. Pardon me, it's their sixth album. I like it as much as I like every one of their albums. I think they're all really great, pretty much across the board, around 4-star albums. This one had some great, throwback songs again, with obviously Beatles or, Beach Boys 60s sound influence here. A Dream Is All I Know. You want to delve into some themes of nostalgia, you can check out the Lemon Twigs. A Dream Is All We Know, and that comes in at number 15. Is it his fifth album, sixth album? My son says the first one doesn't count. Anyways, I'm going with his fifth album, Kendrick Lamar's GNX. How good is it? It's Kendrick Lamar. The guy is on fire. He is not missed. It's that good. If you don't know who Kendrick Lamar is, then you probably won't like this. He's one of the greatest rappers of the era. One of my favorite Kendrick Lamar songs now is on this album. It's the hit, Squabble Up. I also made Obama's list. Kendrick had a year where he's having this beef with Drake. It was pretty entertaining to watch the back and forth diss raps from Drake and Kendrick earlier in the year there. As far as rap goes, I mean, I don't really listen to Drake, and I do quite like Kendrick's rap. Number 13, with their fourth album, we're going with Sierra Farrell's Trail of Flowers. Sierra Farrell, mentioned earlier during Benjamin Todd, she actually does a great track with him. She sometimes will pull out the violin or guitar or, just completely different sounding songs and genre bouncing as well. They call it neo-traditionalist country. Trail of Flowers. Lots of tattoos, got a cool style. I really like the track, I Could Drive You Crazy. I suggest just watching her live. There's lots of really cool videos of her. There's one in a church, and listen to a few tracks because she does kind of jump around a bit, and it took me a couple tracks to really kind of appreciate her. Great stories, distinctive voice, Sierra Farrell. Number 12 comes from The Cure, Songs of a Lost World. If you watch the channel, I did a Cure deep dive earlier this year. So I always want to listen to The Cure. I wasn't too crazy about The Cure, but I did really like this album because it does give you what you want out of a lot of Cure albums, is this sound. Over and over and over again, well produced, the drums sound great, and that's a big beef I had with a lot of the earlier albums of The Cure. It just held my attention. You just got to be in the mood, for an atmospheric Cure album. As I listened from the first record to the last record, this one, and this is a major relief and a nice surprise at the end. So that does kind of change my ranking of it, I suppose. I Can Never Say Goodbye and End Song, both excellent Cure tracks. The Opener, Alone, and A Fragile Thing. I'm so done with this band right now. All right, at number 11, I'm going with this debut album from a band that I heard about on another podcast, Tastes Like Music, from, I believe it was Jason. The band is Love Fiend, and the album is Handle with Care. They call it garage punk, and it's that raw electric sound. I really like. Diamond Rugs kind of got that sort of sound, some horns going on, some happy driving garage punk. Car is a bit of the Bruce Springsteen when he's having fun kind of sound going on, whatever that is. Check out Love Fiend, Handle with Care. Top 10, I'm going with Father John Misty, Mahash Mashana. I think he's got about 7 or 8 albums on his own now. Father John Misty blew me away when Pure Comedy came out. That's around 10 years ago. You know, his name is Father John, and he does remind me a lot of Elton John. The longer tracks, stuff like that, just reminds me of the best of Elton John, or what my favorite stuff from Elton was. Yeah, early 1970 to 1975 era. I thought that the last couple albums from Father John Misty were a bit sus. Right? This one is a lot of fun. Keep saying it reminds me of Beck, Guero. Really love the keyboard work on this album. He's got a great band. Return to Form. A lot of these songs also in the playlist below for greatest songs of the year. The opener, Mahash Mashana, She Cleans Up. Mental Health is a ton of fun. At number 9, we're going with Nick Cave's Wild God. Nick Cave makes the album of the year conversation again. He did actually win a previous album, or get number 1 on a previous year countdown, 25 best here on the channel. Bit more of the gospel Nick Cave sound, but so many great songs, and just very consistent. The entire album, start to finish, I thought was just, I don't know. I feel like this guy's just getting better. I think he knows what he wants to do. This is his first album in 5 years, and that holds a special spot in my heart this year as well. The person introduced me to Nick Cave passed away earlier this year, and so for sure, this album had me thinking of him a lot this year, and it's called Wild God, from Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, number 9. Number 8, with their second studio album, I'm going with The Smile, and the album is Wall of Eyes. Now, The Smile is a band composed of 2 very famous guys from Radiohead, Tom York and Johnny Greenwood. You also get Tom Skinner on drums and synthesizer. There's multiple Radiohead episodes on this channel. I think that Radiohead is probably, for a period of time there, I would say that Radiohead was the best band in the world for a significant period of time. I think that they were elite. These Smile records make me think that they haven't let off the gas one bit. There's almost as many hits, if not more, than their last Radiohead album. Wall of Eyes, I'm putting in at number 8 from The Smile, their second studio album. All right, number 7, I'm going with one of the busiest men in music these days, Billy Strings. The album is Highway Prayers. Billy Strings is progressive bluegrass. If you watch that movie, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Soggy Bottom Brothers or Boys, Man of Constant Sorrow. There's a bit of that sort of sound in Billy Strings. The guy is just a beast on guitar. I remember getting into him, watching videos of him doing Don't Think Twice, It's All Right, and also Dust in a Baggie, one of his signature songs. I learned who Billy Strings was watching YouTube. Watch It Fall was a song that he did, I believe, on his last album or a couple albums ago, that I just watched that music video for that quite a bit. It would make my top 10 countdown for music videos watched this last couple of years. I just like it. It's a pretty video, pretty song. His new album, Highway Prayers, primarily kind of a bluegrass sound, unique tone, muscle car bluegrass. One of the best guitar players in the business today is Billy Strings. Okay, number six, it's his 6th album. It's under the new name Johnny Blue Skies. It's the album is Passage de Dessert, Johnny Blue Skies, number 6. And so that's Sturgill Simpson's new Plastic Ono band. He said he wanted to do 5 albums under his own name, and it was well thought out, and he had concepts for all 5. And I love Sturgill Simpson. One of the first episodes I made was about Sturgill Simpson and about missing out on him. This year he came back. One of the most watched things for me this year was Sturgill Simpson's tour. A lot of it posted to YouTube. These guys are on fire. It's a rock show. You know, Sturgill made 2 country albums, and then he went back to make a country album, I guess, with his last studio album, The Dude and Juanita. Different style of country. He made 2 bluegrass albums, which are his older songs, all done in the style of bluegrass, because he envisioned them in bluegrass in the first place. I love those albums. That's like greatest hits for me. Now that he's touring, again, I'll say that I think he's the best touring solo artist in the world today. And I think that the stuff he was playing on this last tour was nuts. So well done. I love every one of his albums. I don't ever think he fell off whatsoever. I really like, Sound and Fury gets guff. My least favorite track is probably the Nirvana cover on Sailor's Guide This one's got a bit of a softer sound to it, a bit more laid back beach tunes. He's been living overseas for the last few years. Highlights on the album for me are Scooter Blues, Jupiter's Ferry. One of my favorite songs of the year, Mint Tea, from Sturgill Simpson as well on this album. First it was Scooter Blues for me, then I went to Jupiter Ferry. Now I'm back. My nephew told me right off the bat, Mint Tea, and I agree. It's a great track. Great sounding album, rich sounding album. I like watching him play these songs live, and I love the covers he pulled out this year, like Purple Rain, LA Woman by The Doors, like Lowell George, Spanish Moon from Little Feat. 3-hour shows across the board on their tour. Go and watch these guys. Number 5 is the last 4-star album I've got for this year, for 2024. So technically all of those albums I just listed out are tied for 5th. One I really want to mention, and it was kind of a late bloomer for me anyways, that and I'm new to this artist this year, and it's Charlie Crockett. Now, this guy releases a ton of albums. I'm going with his first album from this year, which is $10 Cowboy, progressive country album. It's funny because I started listening to the lyrics, and that's kind of what got me into it. He's got a great tone, original voice. I immediately got Bill Withers vibes. I love Bill Withers. Check out my episode on the channel. I listen to a ton of Bill Withers, especially, for the longest time anyways. I'm a huge Bill Withers fan, and I recognized it right away. And in one of the first interviews I popped up with Charlie Crockett on YouTube when I was trying to, getting to know him a bit better on these interviews, he mentioned right off the bat his love for Bill Withers. And it's his phrasing and with his tone. He doesn't overdo it, but it's really lush and beautiful arrangements, beautiful kind of like 70s country, a bit of the Willie, a bit of the Charlie Pride. $10 Cowboy, the title track's great. Hard Luck and Circumstances, the lyrics on that one really hit home for me and America. So honorable mentions were Black Crowes, Happiness Bastards, Jessica Pratt, Here in the Pitch, Cindy Lee's Diamond Jubilee, and Slow Runner, Yesterday Don't Fail Me Now, Justice, and Judas Priest. Okay, top 4, these are all 4.5 stars. We're going back to The Smile. They did 2 albums this year. This is their 3rd studio album from Tom York and Johnny Greenwood and the boys in The Smile. The greatest Radiohead output, and I love all their solo albums too, but the greatest one for me since In Rainbows is The Smile. Cutouts, their 2nd album, a bit more synth heavy, a bit more going on this album than the first album from this year. This incredible atmospheric journey every album takes you on, like Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. Like, that's what the Radiohead albums of the early 2000s did for me. This, to me, is kind of like a return to that. Number 4, we're going with The Smile, Cutouts. My favorite tracks in the playlist below for 25. On my channel, there's a playlist, and it's around 150 songs from this year, and my favorite songs from the album are on there. Number 3, we're going with this geek rock artist is Cheek Face, and the album is It's Sorted. Lots of great hooks on here. This reminds me a bit of Cake, a little bit of Devo, little Cars, and They Might Be Giants for sure. I kind of had a bit of a They Might Be Giants Coming to God moment earlier this year that I loved them. So yeah, that did heavily influence me in the Cheek Face direction this year. I'm just into it. Maybe in a couple of years my rankings change a bit. I think if you like Weird Al Yankovic, passive-aggressive lyrics on some of it, sardonic humor, Cheek Face. Number 2 from Nigeria, going with Mdou Mokhtar's Funeral for Justice. This is about their 10th album, but these African rhythms are just so incredible. Analog Africa is a channel on YouTube that I follow closely, and what they do is they rescue old African hits from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and they rescue them and repress them and put them out to the public on their YouTube channel, and you can actually buy vinyls from them as well. Analog Africa, shout out. This is just leagues above. Mdou is one of the best guitar players in the world today. I just love their stage presence and their Nigerian garb, their garb from their homeland with turbans and their lyrics. If you watch it with the captioning on their videos, a lot of times they'll have the English subtitles. Pretty deep, incredible lyrics, incredible minds, and I love what they're saying. I love how they're representing their country, and these guys are headlining massive festivals and stuff like that this year, and they're not changing for anybody. Watch their live performances. There's one they do on a carpet at the edge of their town. Number 2, Funeral for Justice from Mdu Mokhtar. And number 1, from one of my most watched bands of the year for sure. I watch their live concerts on YouTube Premium all the time. I'm going to get credit where credit is due to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. And their album this year is Flight B741. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard from Melbourne, Australia. Genre jumping, psychedelic, electronic. This one's more of a rootsy, boogie feel album, which I love because I love Little Feat and that sort of Southern blues rock thing. Every album different, 2-3 albums a year consistently. They had one year, I think, where they did 5. And their live shows are incredible. If you can't get a chance to check out their live shows on YouTube or in person, do it. What an experience that is. Incredibly unique playing sounds. These guys are just peak level in their prime for sure. And this is actually my favorite King Gizzard album to date that I've heard. And I haven't heard all 28 or 25 of them, but yeah, credit to the Australian 6-piece rock band King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard for the best album of 2024, and that's Flight B741. Remember to like, comment, subscribe on these videos. Love to hear your top 5. I'm sure I screwed up lots of stuff, so keep me posted on that to the trolls. Blessed 2025 to you. What a great year for music last year was. Looking forward to some more of these throwback, genre blending albums. So I'm sorry I'm a little low on facts and high on opinions. We'll catch you on the next one. Respect.